Stop lying to yourself by saying you can live alone as a cool lone wolf. Evolutionarily, a human who tried to live alone in ancient times usually ended up as a tiger snack in less than 24 hours. We need groups not because we love each other, but because we need a support system to survive. But there is a big problem. Uniting just two heads is hard enough, let alone uniting dozens of people with different egos, body odors, and ambitions. Have you ever entered a new environment, whether it's an office, a hobby community, or a friend's wedding committee WhatsApp group, and felt the situation was incredibly awkward at first? Then suddenly there's a phase where everyone is fighting until finally everyone becomes close and the work gets done. That is not a coincidence, and it's not due to motivational guidance. It is a sociological algorithm already installed in our collective brain. Welcome to Arc, Chaos, and Order, in the segment, The Foundation of Order. In this fourth episode, we will dissect the 6 sociological stages of group formation, Tuckman stages plus one secret ingredient. We will see how a messy collection of individuals transforms into a solid machine. Prepare your critical logic. Let's dismantle how we form groups. Forming, the impression management and mass awkwardness protocol. The first stage is forming. This is the moment when you and a group of strangers are gathered in one room. The primary logic at this stage is observation and security. Because you don't yet know who is a friend and who is a foe, your brain automatically activates maximum politeness mode. Your point of view now? You sit up straight, give a faint smile, and speak very carefully. You're trying to figure out who is the boss here, who is the smartest, and who is likely to be the group's dead weight. At this stage, there is no real order yet. There is only impression management. Everyone is trying to fit themselves into the group's expectations. Systemically, forming is the data collection stage. The group is still fragile because every individual is still holding on to their own exit door. Communication at this stage is very shallow. You wouldn't dare criticize someone else's idea for fear of being seen as uncool. Forming is the fake honeymoon phase before the actual storm arrives. Storming, the ego clash protocol. Once everyone starts feeling comfortable, the second protocol immediately activates, storming. This is the phase where the chaos in our arc truly happens. The mask of politeness begins to slip and individual egos start to emerge to fight for position. The logic of storming is hierarchical selection. Humans naturally need structure. At this stage, you'll start to feel annoyed by the way person A works, or you feel person B's idea is garbage. Debates get heated, the group starts to split into small factions, and the office atmosphere or chat group becomes very toxic. Many people think storming is bad, but from a sociological logic, storming is mandatory. Without a clash, you won't know each person's boundaries. Storming is the system's way of performing a stress test. Groups that fail to pass this stage will break up, collapse. But if successful, this storm will give birth to a recognized leader and more honest rules of the game. At this stage, you learn that blunt honesty is often more productive than fake politeness. Norming, the consensus and social contract protocol. After everyone is tired of fighting in the storming stage, the group will enter the norming stage. This is the point where order or stability begins to be built. The logic at this stage is reconciliation and standardization. You and the other members begin to realize, okay, if we keep fighting, the work won't get done and we all lose. Let's make some rules. Your point of view. You start to appreciate your teammates' differences. You begin to say, okay, person A is indeed noisy, but they're great at execution, so let's just give them the field operations. Here, group norms are formed, not just written rules, but unwritten ones, like don't be late for meetings, or if you want a revision, say it through this channel. Norming is the moment where individuals start to yield for the sake of the group's interests. The I identity slowly merges into we. Trust begins to grow because everyone already knows what to expect from others. The disorder in the previous stage is filtered into a predictable work system. Performing, the automatic machine operation protocol. Now, if your group manages to reach the performing stage, congratulations, you are now inside a well-lubricated machine. The logic is efficiency and autonomy. At this stage, you no longer need to be told what to do in detail by a superior. You already know what to do and you know your teammates will do their part correctly. In the performing stage, energy that was previously wasted on fighting or making rules is now 100% allocated to achieving goals. The group becomes very flexible and adaptive. Conflict still exists, but it's resolved professionally, without drama. Your point of view. You feel proud to be part of this team. You feel the work that was once heavy now feels light because everyone is moving in sync. Performing is the highest caste of social order. This is proof that humans can suppress their personal egos for a grand vision that can only be achieved collectively. A group at this stage is the apex predator in its industry, adjourning, the exit and system dissolution protocol. However, nothing is eternal in this world, including your group. The fifth stage is adjourning or dissolution. The logic of this stage is evaluation and transition. The project is finished, or the team is restructured, or the organization goes bankrupt. This stage is often ignored, even though sociologically it's very crucial. There's a sense of sadness or loss when the machine that was once solid must be dismantled piece by piece. Your point of view? You feel a longing for the intense debates at the office, but you know life must continue. Adjourning is the system's way of releasing individual energy back into the market. The experience you gained in this group will be carried to your next new group, forming again. This is the birth-death cycle of an organization. Without adjourning, civilization would be full of old groups that are no longer relevant but refuse to dissolve. Group cohesion, the invisible glue, the hidden hand. Finally, there's the element that ensures the previous 5 stages run smoothly. Group cohesion. This is not just a stage, but the fuel that must be continuous. The logic is interdependence. What keeps a group united despite a big storm? The answer is cohesion. There are 2 types of cohesion: social, because we like each other, and task, because we have a common goal. The strongest groups are those that have both. Cohesion is the loyalty protocol. This is what makes you willing to work overtime for your teammates, or willing to bear someone else's mistake so the team survives. Without cohesion, your group will just be a collection of people who happen to be in the same room. Cohesion dictates your logic to believe that the team's interest is my interest. This is the hidden hand that ensures order does not break back into chaos when there is pressure from the outside. So, what is the common thread of these 6 sociological stages? Logically, a group is a human effort to create stability amidst individual uncertainty. Individuals are messy, chaos. A group is how we perform data compression, so human energy can be directed toward a single productive point: order. The process from forming to performing is a journey from ego towards system. The problem is, many people are afraid of the storming stage. They want to jump straight to performing without wanting to fight first. Yet logically, you cannot have true order if you have never passed through chaos. Order that is forced without passing through conflict is usually a fragile order that will explode in the future. Understanding these stages gives you a roadmap. When you enter a new office and the atmosphere is in a massive fight, you don't need to panic or rush to resign. Just say to yourself, oh, this is just a storming stage. The system logic is working to find a fit. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they're explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.